Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Getting ready to get some supplies up to plant a garden, or plant the next garden. I know it's the middle of about the first week or two of August 2026. We're going to go ahead and jump the gun and plant some things in the garden. Right now, we're going to go and get some gas for the tractor. Got to go to the co-op, get fertilizer, and come back and get all the junk ready to. Usually takes longer to get stuff ready than it does to actually plant the garden, but we're planning on planting carrots, rutabagas, turnips, mustard, collards, onions, cauliflower, broccoli, lettuce. We grow our own lettuce.
Carrots.
Carrots. She loves carrots. I like them raw. She wouldn't eat one on a bet for raw. Anyway, that's what we're headed and doing the next little bit. Probably get back in here in a minute and got to stop and get some gas. See if they get mad if we film in the co-op. If they do, we won't. But I can't imagine why they'd get mad, because that would be free advertising from them, because we got 7 million subscribers, almost, less about 8 million.
It's okay. We just do it for fun.
We're gonna take y'all through the whole process of planting your garden, whether it's one in your backyard or like ours is a little bit bigger, because we try to sell a little bit of it and give a lot of it away and whatnot. Try to find somebody who ain't doing too hot, and give them a little bit of it. If somebody's doing okay, they can pay for it. Help by as you'll see, it's not an easy process to grow a pretty good sized garden, and it's expensive. Fertilizer and gas. We don't count our time because we're both retired, so that ain't no big deal. But if you get paid by the temperature, we'd make a fortune, because I think it's about 112 in the shade today.
Maybe the video will be a little smoother now since we're getting on hard road.
That's our county commissioner for you. It wouldn't have been so lumpy, but anyway, come on November, get him out of there. And kind of neglected the roads. If you look at Facebook around our neighborhood, that's what most people fuss about, is the road bumping your head when you're riding down the road. It could be worse. Could be walking down the road bumping your head, I guess. We'll be back in a minute. We'll stop and get some gas, and then we'll see if they'll let us talk to them in the co-op. If not, we're planning on going over to the co-op and get some fertilizer. Buddy needs to borrow a chicken pen or a dog pen to put a chicken in, so we're going to stop by his house, rent him out this chicken pen, dog pen, whatever it is. We'll figure out how much rent would be on that. If he acts right, probably just let him borrow it, but he don't ever act right, so I won't call his name, because he's probably in the witness protection program or something, which would be a fake name anyway, so it don't really matter. I don't know if she can show you over there. That's Peanut Farm. They got a late start on them because we got a lot of rain in the spring when the farmers should be planting. They couldn't, because it was like a mud hole.
This is our route on the way to get fertilizer. Isn't that so pretty? Hardly nobody on the road. Going back roads. Back road through.
You don't see that often. Look at that speed limit sign.
Yeah.
40.
Just crossed over into Alabama.
Welcome to the jungle. It's all fun and games. Oh, it's not a jungle. It's a county main thing. Woo! Hamburger, cup of coffee, lettuce, and tomato. 2 times a dime. See man kissed an alligator one more time around. Oh,
Ooh,
free on the
sorry,
Ferris
y'all.
wheel ride. Oh, gee, it's just cheaper to put up a sign that says bump or rough road than it is to fix it. It's all right. I'd rather ride a country road than live in the biggest city they ever made.
Yes, for sure.
Our goal will be to get to the co-op and get back fertilizer in the truck getting wet. Trying to make it rain. My buddy's cutting hay and we're going to go get several bags of fertilizer, hoping maybe we can make it rain. Could call Kelly and see what they get for fertilizer. If it's cheaper than the co-op, or do you just want to go to the co-op? I like the co-op. Co-op people are nice. Well, Kelly people are too.
One day, I want to stop by that little farm stand.
It's closed. They don't want you up in there bothering.
How adorable is that? I want to stop there one day. Support their small business.
Yeah. Or they close them all down.
Right? How pretty.
You're riding along, riding along. We're in small town USA. Don't try to get here because you can't get here from where you're at. Get back on your side, that'd be great. Anybody else notice that people coming towards you anymore can't stay in their lane?
Look at that big old beautiful house going in.
They got it framed up like a barn. Got metal rafters in it like a barn, but
It's
they
huge.
closed it in, made a mansion out of it.
Huge.
Barn mansion? What is that, a mansion?
Nothing like riding country roads. I just played a song in my head.
Country Road by John Denver.
Yeah.
We are at the co-op in Geneva. Let's see, Geneva Co-op, Hartford Co-op.
That's the name of our channel.
That's the big dogs back there. Hey, y'all. Give me a hey. That's the boss man. There's the boss lady. Another guy. We need 10 bags, a triple 10.
What else? You need any seeds?
I don't think. I think we got all the seed the other day. That ought to do. This trip. Okay. We're recording the whole deal so that people think that growing a garden is cheap.
Well,
it's not always.
I prefer to eat from home.
That's right.
Especially with everything going on.
That's the truth.
Well,
never go wrong growing your own food.
Well, every time you turn around now, they're recalling something. Right now, exactly you can't eat lettuce.
It makes you scared to go to the grocery store. So it's it may be expensive, but it's price.
Yep. Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
See you.
Come back to see us.
Okay. Everything you need. I'll give you a quick tip on the snails. I'll film it right there. That stuff right there is a killer for snails. I've used it in my garden. It works good. But they've got just about everything you need here, and he can help you find it. See you, bud. YouTube. You don't mind being on YouTube, do you?
Yes, not.
You might make a Hollywood star.
Oh, I don't know about that.
If you don't, she can cut you out of it. All three people that'll see it.
Yeah. I've got to find my pocket.
I got one of them. Went to use it to cut some hay string yesterday, and it wasn't having none of it. They must make them blades pretty sorry anymore.
I put mine in my pocket yesterday before I went to church. And
Somewhere. It's somewhere between here and there.
I don't know, young as mine.
Eight.
9, right?
8.
8.
That'll do it.
Thank
Thank you,
y'all.
buddy.
Go.
What's good about going to a co-op like that is they know you by name. One fella back there, he runs the show. His name's Todd. Forget the other fella's name because I'm on camera, but I know it good as I know my own. Anyway, just good folks, and you don't have to worry about running into somebody who's if they're having a bad day, they ain't gonna take it out on you. And I understand everybody has a bad day, but it sure makes it easier to spend your money on stuff with people you like doing business with. It's about 16 miles over here, and Lula showed you through the woods that it ain't no big deal to get here. This is the busiest stretch of road you'll get on. Now we got to try to get it back to the house before it rains. Don't want to get wet.
Who's gonna unload it? Cause you know
are.
we didn't have to load it, but somebody's gonna have to unload it.
Yeah, that'd be up to you, I guess. You'll be the one doing that.
I'm sure I'll be grabbing a few.
Probably just take the truck down there tomorrow and load it out of that. Either that or we'll take that little dentist trailer and hook it to the buggy and take everything in that. Anytime we get a piece of equipment, it's named after whoever we got it from. Like if we buy a bull from the sale at Dothan, Ed Neal owns the cattle market in Dothan. We've had several bulls and they're all named Eddie. I don't think this last one's named Eddie because he was there on assignment. I think somehow he got named Lamb Chop. But we had a tractor one time that we bought from a guy named Billy in Arcadia. So that tractor's name was Billy. I've got a tractor that I use, a Ford 5000, and everybody refers that to a Justin tractor because we got it from my buddy Justin. And we got a Mahindra, but I think it just wound up being a Mahindra because We got it from the Hendra dealer, so I guess we're staying in line with that pattern. We're on our way back home now. About a 15-20 minute ride. Well, the tiller's already on the back of the tractor, so I may go down there and rotor tiller it. If it don't rain, probably turn the sprinklers on and get a little moisture down there. Start planting it tomorrow. And I might just wait and water it after we get everything planted. We kind of try to figure out what we had planted, where we had something planted last year, and try to move it around so we don't plant the same thing over and over in the same spot. I said try to, because most of the time I forget what I've done with the list I had. I don't understand why somebody let a hole in the roof go. It's been like that since we moved here 20-something years ago. But it's kind of sad to watch a house or a barn just rot down because we didn't fix a piece of tin that was loose on it. That's a cotton field. You can see a few blooms out there on it.
Yeah, it's starting to bloom.
But we're riding along. It's a little lumpy. As you can tell, they patched potholes on this road. It's fine, it ain't too bad. You'll still have most of your teeth time you get home. Those are good peanuts right there. We haul peanuts in the harvest season for the peanut company, and I've learned that if them peanuts are lapping the roads like that, they're doing their job. That'll be a good crop right there. Assuming there's nothing under the ground going on, but they are growing. Some of these peanut fields you go by, you'll see just a little trail down the middle of them, and it's getting kind of late in the year for them to do very good.
We'll be pulling some wagons full of peanuts soon.
Every harvest year, we help put them pull peanuts in the mill for the farmers. We're both retired, so I look forward to it. It's hot, but it ain't hard work. Just go out there in the field, and hook through some wagons, and drag them out of there. We've had a couple of hairy moments where the wheel come off a trailer or something. You got 12 tons of peanuts behind you, but Lord was good to us because it happened out in the field. We was able to fix it right out there in the middle of the field. Put a new bearing, a seal, and all that mess in it right out there in the dirt.
If I can find the picture, I'll attach it on here.
Yep. But besides gardening, we do other stuff too. But that's one of the things that I've committed to do. And over the last several years, I used to work there until I retired, and I go back and help him every harvest. It usually starts about September, October, November. It may run on to Christmas this year since farmers got held off a little bit because of all the rain. It was a wet spring, really wet. But it'll be interesting to see how much kind of peanuts we get. I think he's got one warehouse that holds like, I might be telling you wrong, but like 1,750 tons of peanuts. And after that, he has to start shipping them out. See, a lot of people they don't know it just because they don't know it, not because they're dumb. But I didn't know it till I worked there. But the peanuts that these farmers grow, most of them, that's going for peanut butter and candy and whatnot, peanut oil. The farmers that want to keep back their own seed, I guess they can get their own peanut shelled. But most of the time, farmers buy seeds from a producer that's all he does is mainly grows peanuts for the seed. It's a certain kind, it's certified, it's registered, and all that good stuff. But most of the farmers' peanuts, they'll go for peanut butter or candy or oil or something like that. They're not going to be, most of the time, they're not reused for planting the seeds for the next year's crop. I know several people do it. My buddy does it. He keeps his own seed because he's generated a kind of seed that he knows does good for him. Turn on that road. That's where George lives.
I got bees down there.
That's where we got the bees. If you look
Out
at the
of
bee
the
video.
floor. Yeah, I posted that video on YouTube. I actually got the queen.
Yeah, we got to see her the other day.
There was 2 prior trips before I tagged along, and I went the last trip and managed to get the queen.
We don't usually go get them out of a building, but he'd already ripped the floor up. So some people don't understand when they call you and they tell you I got bees up in my attic or in the wall. Not getting in the liability of tearing down a wall and having to put it back and all that good stuff. Just call an exterminator. I hate that, but it's not getting into tearing down somebody's wall or a roof or whatever ceiling.
Or like if they call wanting them out of a tree, it's almost impossible to get them out of a tree, like inside of a tree, unless you cut it down, because the queen, if they've got an established hive in there, she is not going to leave.
Nope.
And if she don't leave, they're not leaving. So I had somebody contact me on Messenger day before yesterday, wanting to know if I could get bees out of a tree. But unless they want to cut it down, it's not going to happen.
We still got to try to get some out of in front of a combine again. That's amazing. Front axle of a combine. It's about 8 inches square, hollow tube. Goes one front side of the front wheel to the other front wheel. And we cut a big hunk out of that drive shaft or the axle housing, trying to get them bees out of there. And we got a big wad of bees out of there. And we put some stuff in there that's supposed to run them off. Called Bigo.
Get them home, get
It
situated.
stinks. It does stink. But they said, I don't care. The guy called me back a few weeks later. He said, there's a pile of bees back in there. And we went over and looked. Sure enough, they were going in and coming in there. And that rotten mess in there. It smells like somebody had a puking contest.
Which maybe we can get another hive out of there. They've been there for a minute, so they've probably established again.
We're going to have to go back over there and give it a try. We told him we'd try to get them out of there for him.
But once they're out, they're going to have to go ahead and do with it what they want, because the bees will go back in there. There's too many cracks and crevices for them to get in. And they know that spot. They're going to keep going back, straight back to that location.
Yeah, that's something. Something else too is what she's talking about. If bees swarmed to your barn last year and they got in your attic or your loft or camper or whatever, and it's still sitting there and it's still got that smell or residue from last year, they're coming back. Almost guarantee they're coming back next spring.
Yep.
And the reason they do that, you're like, well, where are they at right now? Right now they've established a new home, but in every spring they'll either outgrow their quarters or they just decide they want a new queen. They can make their own queen by feeding one of them cells royal jelly. They'll make a queen, and then when you have 2 queens in the hive, that don't work. They don't get along, so they'll have a bee revolt. You can't really hear them yelling and everything, but they're screaming and hollering. Half that hive's going to leave with either new queen or old queen, whoever leaves. That's the reason you see them hanging on a limb somewhere in North Florida. It's going to be late February, March, April. Once they get into May, they pretty well done their thing. And catching them, and a swarm trap pretty much done. You can't do it, or you can, but it's rare unless you dig them out of somebody's floor like that shed that we got them out of. If you don't get the queen, you won't get the rest of them to go. Pretty neat though when you do catch the queen and put her in that hive box or a swarm trap. They'll just flow in there like mud. It's lava. It just goes in. That's cool.
And bees, they aren't just good for honey. They're good for pollinating garden and all that stuff too. Without bees, you don't have food.
Without bees, there would be no point in what we're doing today. So
No.
we need them to pollinate.
Look at this view, y'all. Isn't it pretty? There's another little farm stand thing somebody has. There's a lot of little farm stands up here in our area. Selling sourdough or like baked goods, treats, all kinds of stuff.
Hot as it is, I don't know how sourdough lasts out here because it don't last 2 or 3 days in the house. That's mainly because I eat it all, but if I don't get to it in time, it don't have all them preservatives and stuff in it. It goes pretty quick.
Yeah. Some of them's air conditioned and stuff. That little one I want to stop at one day is air conditioned, enclosed. Just a cute little farm stand store. I may set one up one of these days.
It's up here somewhere.
Yeah. I think it's only open on weekends. I hope this video is not too bumpy. I just wanted to record some of the area and the scenery. It's just so beautiful.
This is remnants
Country
from the
living.
storm. When old Michael came through. There's your little farm stand.
There it is again, little farm stand.
There's only certain things you can sell off the farm, which don't make sense to me. They tell you what you can and can't sell off of a farm. It ought to be up to you. If you want to buy something that I've grown or something that I've made, it ought to strictly be up to you. Just know that I'm not USDA certified, inspected, and all that stuff. But if you want to buy smoked bacon from me, that should be that should be your decision. But unfortunately, that's where we're at now.
Yeah. Well, it don't make sense because the meat you buy is inspected, so it shouldn't.
They
really
just don't
matter.
like the fact that they don't have control over it. If I smoke it and sell it, they want to have their mitts involved. So I don't sell it.
No.
And anybody that would give some of that bacon to said that's the best bacon they ever eaten. Because it ain't got all that junk pumped in it. Same thing with our friends that we'll share some of our green beans or whatever that Lula's can. Like you learned me on eating stuff out of a can after eating fresh vegetables or vegetables that we pressure canned. It's just a whole world of difference. I think about the only thing we put in it is a little bit of canning salt before we close the lid on it. gonna rain or not, so we're gonna put this in the barn.
Where do you want me to put it? Under that shelf?
Yep. Hurry up, ain't all day.
Sorry.
Yep. Hey, look, there's old Hershey. Let me go see Hershey. What are you doing, old son? What you eating there? Perennial. Yeah, I'll get the rest of it. You're not stacking it flat. Where you messed up, thought you could have something.
Hershey. Hey, buddy. This is our bottle baby.
See that?
You can't do nothing.
Nope.
Let me get the rest. How much is left?
No.
Is that all of them?
No, but I'm probably gonna need emergency surgery on my arm.
I can get the rest. How many's left?
2.
This is the kind we're using.
I'll get it.
I'm showing them what we're using.
No.
That's what we're using in the garden.
It's got sulfur and chlorine added. Got me kind of good. Leaking.
And the spot we are going to be gardening at is right down there. That spot. You can see the ground's kind of plowed up down there. Right down there.
I'm gonna spray the border of this fence. Try to keep some of the insects that crawl over here out of that pond out of here. Got snails try to take this thing over. And I don't know if this helps or not. I'm also going to spray out there in the garden where the grass gnaws where I'm fixing to plant in a few days. I want to go ahead and kill that grass so I ain't fighting with that right off the bat. I usually put 2,4-D and Roundup together, but since I still got some okra planted and I'm getting ready to plant greens, which are broadleaf, not putting no 2,4-D in there. Just strictly bee killer around Power Max. They call it Power Max.
Trying to beat down the grass before we plant garden. So that's what he's doing. He is spraying the grass so we can let it sit a few days on there before rototilling the garden spot. And that stuff stinks. So I am just walking, trying to get some on film because I can't stand the smell of that stuff.
Days to work, and we'll rototiller it in. And probably toward the end of the week, if not sooner, we'll be ready to start planting something. Maybe we'll get a little bit of rain in between there. If not, we'll have to make it rain.
There's our okra patch. There's my bees over there. Okra. blooms. We usually have to pick it every couple of days. And there's some jalapenos there too. This is my jalapenos, and looks like I have some to pick. There's one right here. There. Some over here that I need to pick. There's the okra blooms, in case anyone was wondering what they look like. That's one that's not open yet. I wish I could find one that's open because the flower is gorgeous when it opens. But I don't see one right now open. That's our okra rose. That's him spraying with that stinky stuff. I hate killing grass. We like a clean garden spot. This was just picked this morning. You can see the okra. It probably could be picked again. This size right here, this size is perfect for pickled okra. And that size, I may do a video of that when I decide to pickle some. That's one of our favorite fishing holes. My happy place. I've got this job done. The smell of that stuff doesn't bother him. I can't stand it. This is my bounty of jalapenos. They will be probably going into the freezer for jalapeno cheddar sourdough, which I'll have to post a video of making some of that as well. And I also sometimes will dehydrate them and make jalapeno salt and jalapeno powder to add to dishes just to give a little zing. Get this incredible view of the church across the way. House. Country life. There's nothing like it. You can't talk me into moving to a city because I am a country girl. And you can hear the birds and you can see the stars out here. You can't see all that in the city. We've actually had friends come to visit that lived in big cities, and they would comment on how beautiful the sky is at night because you can actually see the stars. There's not so many city lights that drown them out. But there's nothing like growing your own food. You don't have to worry about some organism or bacteria or whatever getting in any of it. You know exactly what's on it, what's been put on it, what's not been put on it. And there's nothing like growing your own food. We love it and wouldn't have it any other way but to grow our own. We're getting ready to plant the fall garden. We're just gonna experiment and kind of try to plant it a little earlier this year just to see what happens. I mean, it's only just a few seeds, so if we have to replant closer to cooler weather, then we will. But what if it comes up and like we have greens and broccoli and all the things right out the gate come fall when everybody else is planting? So if we can just grow, even if we just grew enough for us, it would be so worth it. But this garden is huge. We always, 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 always have an abundance to share. You can see the fish feeding. Wish I would have brought my fishing pole. Look at that little guy. He's so little.